Hello friends, welcome back to the new lecture on hydraulic and pneumatic circuit and their application. Last time we have seen meter in circuit and meter out circuit. Let us see some of the other circuits which will be used in the hydraulic systems. Now bleed off circuit. In a meter in circuit we have seen that the fluid, the velocity of the piston is controlled by the fluid which is going inside, whereas meter out circuit we have seen that the velocity of this particular piston is controlled by fluid which is going out from the cylinder. In this particular case we are not going to consider the fluid which is going inside or going outside, but we are going to bleed off the circuit which is coming from a pump. So here we have written that these circuits are widely used in broaching machine, shaper machine and planers. This is what application of this particular system. In this, the fluid coming from a pump that will get bypassed. Let us see the arrangement. In the arrangement you should remember that you have to assume the component which is provided on a downside direction. The component are like a pump, a reservoir, pressure relief valve, pressure gauge, etc. is present on downside direction, and then we are having a direction control valve. This is a direction control valve. 4 port and 3 positions are shown. The 4 ports are like this, we have seen it. Then the line which is coming from an pump that has got a bypass here, the bleed off, and this bleed off can be controlled by flow control valve. This end is going to connect to this particular end, whereas the other end of the pipeline is connected to here. So I can control the fluid which is going to the piston cylinder arrangement by using this particular valve. This valve is called as a bleed off valve. So if you are going to make more bleed off fluid, then what will happen? Very less amount of fluid will be going inside, and as very less amount of fluid is going inside, then the movement which we have got, which will get for a piston, it will be very less. Whereas if you are going to close this one, the all fluid will be going to this one, and the velocity of the piston which will get, that will be very high. So that can be controlled very easily in this particular case. Now let us see how it works. When we are going to put this particular position and we are going to move this toward the left side, then this particular position come into the action, and the fluid coming from a pump is going to this piston cylinder arrangement. While it is moving up, some of the fluid will get bleed off, and the remaining fluid is going to this one. So if I control this one, I can control the movement of the piston cylinder arrangement, and the reservoir line is connected to the tank or the reservoir. When I move this towards right side direction, when it goes towards right side direction from the pump, it goes to this particular end, and the fluid which is coming from this, it goes to the reservoir. So by controlling this particular valve, I can control the motion of that particular piston cylinder arrangement. This is about a bleed off circuit. Now let's consider fast approach and slow traverse circuit. So there are some application where we want two different speed for the operation. So I want the first the very slow speed and then again fast, or I want initially fast speed and then slow speed. So I can achieve two different speed in a one stroke, and if we are achieving this, then that particular is called as fast approach and slow traverse circuit. In this we can achieve two speed. Now let's consider how we can achieve two circuit. Let's see the construction of this one. You have to consider that on the downside direction we are having pump and other devices, other initial devices are present over there. Then the pump line, this particular pump line or the port which is coming from an A, that has a flow control valve and check valve which is provided here. From flow control valve and check valve there is a bypass made, and that bypass will come to once again to the initial line. So when it is moving through the direction control valve. This is a direction control valve, 2x2 direction control valve, where the two ports are present and two positions are also present. You can see here that in the current position the fluid can pass through this one, whereas when I put this particular position here, the fluid cannot move to this particular line. So this line goes to this cylinder piston head side, whereas the rod side, from the rod side the fluid is coming and it goes to the reservoir like this. So here we are having a piston and piston rod. Piston rod is connected to some extension. This black part is called as extension, and black part has a certain specific speed and this certain specific shape, and because of this shape it will be operating up and down this particular direction control valve. Okay, now let's consider that this is the system which is used for initially I want very slow speed and then I want a fast speed of this particular piston. So initially consider that piston is present over here and this end of the rod is present somewhere here, means this black point, this particular part of the black this particular black part of the extension is contact with this one. When I start supplying a fluid through this one, after through the flow control valve it goes to this one and gives force over the piston. While it is moving forward, some of the fluid will get bypassed and again comes to the initial position. So let's consider that I am supplying 100 unit of the fluid. So unit may be, let's say, liter per second, liter per minute. I am telling, for example, it's 100 unit of the fluid is coming from an pump. Out of that only 70 is supplied forward, whereas 30 is get bypassed through this particular valve. So from this 30 is get bypassed. So when 70 enters here and it will give force on the piston, and that's why piston will be moving towards right side direction. At the same time this black part extension also moving towards right side direction. After traveling some distance, this black part curve will be coming in contact this one. Again when it moves forward side direction, this valve will be moving down. When this valve moves down, then another position of this direction control valve come into the action. So when it moves down, then the flow of the fluid bypass will be get closed, and whatever fluid 100 was coming, that completely 100 is supplied here. Previously we are knowing, previously it was 70 and now it's a complete 100 is supplied to this one. Now I am supplying more amount of fluid, and that's why the movement of the piston or the velocity of the piston which will get, that will be very fast compared to previous one. Now how much fast, that can be controlled by this particular flow control valve. So I can keep to the any position how much fast I want, how much slow I want, that can be decided by this particular case. And the piston will be moving very fast in half of the stroke, whereas piston will be moving slow in the initial position. When I keep this particular position into the action, then the pump line is connected to B and from the fluid is going to this particular end, whereas this piston head side is connected to reservoir. So fluid which is coming from this, it will go to the reservoir. So normal working will occur. But when it's moving forward, initially it will move so slow and then afterward it will become fast. It is also possible that initially we can go very fast and then I can go slow. So such kind of circuits are called as a fast approach, slow traverse circuits. Now let's consider a regenerative type of the circuit. In a regenerative type of the circuit, till now whatever circuit we have considered initially, the fluid which is coming from an return line, it was wastage. But in this particular circuit we are not going to have an wastage. Here principle is, when the fluid returning from other end of cylinder is forced into head end of the cylinder. So fluid returning from other end, that is forced into head end of the cylinder. So this particular is the head end and this is the rod end. So the fluid is entering into the head end, means the amount of fluid coming from an pump that we can reduce by the amount which is coming from an return fluid. So the power which is supplied to the pump, that can be reduced in a regenerative circuit. This is what arrangement, this particular downside arrangement, you are familiar with that. This is a direction control valve. In the direction control valve we are having a 3 positions. Position number 1, 2, 3. In current middle position is a regenerative circuit position, whereas the other 2 is a normal one. When I keep a regenerative circuit position, the fluid which is coming from and rod end, it will enter into the head end and it will move forward. So amount of fluid which is coming from an pump, it will be reduced, and hence power given to pump also can be reduced. When I put this particular position into the action, then what will happen? Normally fluid will go and normally it will return. So regenerative circuit is not possible. When I put this particular position into action, then the reverse movement of the piston, so backward movement of the piston is possible with this one. So this particular circuit is called as a regenerative circuit, in which we can save the power which is given to the pump. Then there are sequence control valves. What is sequence control valves and circuits? Let's see. With a sequence control circuit, a second action is done only after completion of first action. So we can do the sequencing of the piston movement. So the second piston will move when the first piston will come into the action, or first piston movement will get complete. There are two type of the sequence control circuit, as a travel dependent sequence control circuit and a pressure dependent sequence control circuit. Travel dependent means travel of the piston, whereas pressure dependent means according to pressure it will be operating. Now we are going to see what is meant by travel dependent sequence control circuit and pressure dependent sequence control circuit. This particular is a travel dependent sequence control circuit. In this type of control circuit, the second action is done when the first cylinder travel a certain distance. So this is the first cylinder, and this is what second cylinder, piston cylinder arrangement. This is there. On the downside part you are familiar. The direction control valve is also familiar. This is what a direction control valve, quite important for this particular travel dependent sequence control circuit. The port A is connected to head end of the cylinder number 1. While it is going for a head end of the cylinder number 1, the bypass is made, and that bypass is going to the direction control here. Currently this is an off condition. This is an off condition means the fluid is not moving on a forward side direction. So bypass which is coming from this is going to the direction control. At the same time we are going to make a bypass here also, and that is going to the rod end of the cylinder number 2. Rod end of the cylinder number 2. Here this direction control valve is also connected to the check valve. This direction control valve is operated by the cam. Now this cam is provided to the rod end of the cylinder number 1. Okay, now let us see how it operates. When I will supply a pump fluid to this one, so fluid is going to this one. When the fluid will enter into this particular portion, when fluid is entering into this one, remember that the bypass is closed. The fluid is not going to the cylinder number 2, and hence piston in the cylinder number 2 will not be operated. When fluid comes here and it gives force over the piston, piston starts moving towards right side. After traveling some distance, this cam will struck to this particular roller. When the cam struck to the roller, the valve will be moved down, and as valve will be moved down, the second position come into the action. So when this position come into the action, the bypass starts and the fluid is now entering to the cylinder number 2, and now fluid is entering here and it is giving force on this one, and the piston will moving. So when piston is moving, after completion of first piston movement, cam operate the valve, and then second piston will be start moving. So that's why it is called a travel dependent sequence control valve. So it depends upon a travel, how it is going to be travel, and after traveling then second will be operating. So this is a travel dependent. Now pressure dependent sequence control valve. What is pressure dependent sequence control valve? In this type control circuit, the second action starts only when the pressure in the first cylinder reaches a set value. So it is now operating over the pressure. In a previous condition, it was operating over the travel, and now it is depending on the pressure. Let us see the construction. This is the cylinder number 1, cylinder piston arrangement number 1. This is cylinder piston arrangement number 2. Downside part is same. The direction control valve is the same. The only thing is that the port A, which is connected to head end, that get bypass, and now it is connected to sequence control valve. So this is sequence control valve, and the sequence control valve is a pressure operated valve. It will be opened after going to certain pressure, otherwise it will not be rotating one. Normally it will be get closed, and when it goes for a certain pressure, then it will be operating. Okay, and from that it is going to the head end of the piston cylinder arrangement number 2. The rod end of this, it's connected to the wall, and from wall it goes to the reservoir. Rod end of this, again it connected to reservoir, and it goes to this one. Now let's consider that this particular position is came into action, and the pump is connected to port A. From port A, the fluid is entering here now. Remember, this particular wall is closed, and hence second cylinder is not again came to the action. It has not came till now into the action. The fluid is going in this particular position and it gives a force over the piston. The piston starts moving towards right side direction and rod is also moving towards starter. Here one stopper is provided. When the rod touches to stopper, then the movement of piston and rod will get stopped. And as piston and rod movement gets stopped and still the fluid is coming, the pressure will be built at very high, and that pressure will be acting on this pressure operated sequence control valve. Because of pressure goes beyond the certain limit, this valve will get open, and as this valve get open, now the fluid can enter into cylinder number 2 and set here. So now when the fluid is entering here, after going to the certain pressure value here, the fluid will come here and now this particular piston will be moving. So as the pressure goes above the limit and then it operation occur, and that's why it is called a pressure dependent sequence controller. Previously it was a travel dependent and now this is pressure dependent sequence controller. Here when we get a certain pressure, then and then only second will be operating, otherwise it will not be operating. When I put another position into action, after putting another position, the pump line is connected to this rod end, so directly it goes to the rod end, no bypassing. From this the fluid is coming back and it can go through the check valve, and from check valve and from this it will go to the reservoir. So there the returning line is quite similar to previous what we have seen it, but forward line it is sequencing. When the pressure in the first cylinder piston arrangement goes to the certain limit, then and then only piston of second cylinder will be operating, otherwise it will not be operating. This is what called as sequence control. Thank you very much for listening.